is level O, list 11, and we've got the day 1 page. We've got quite a bit in this list. I've already started going through and highlighting. So in the first set of words, you're going to highlight the sound, which is written with UR. We could also use IR, ER, and there are other representations as well, but let's just stick to those. So burnt, nurse, purple, further. Then here we've got some syllables happening where we've got during, lunar, music, where we have a long vowel sound, so we're leaving those syllables open. So splitting after the long vowel sound, and emu. Then lizard and awkward, we've got, we're breaking it after the LIZ, so liz, it is a short sound, awkward, splitting it there. So you've got that root word separating, being separated in each of those. Okay, so let's go back and look at some of the other things we've got. In nurse, we've got the SE at the end, purple, that's a stopped consonant, so we're putting LE after the stopped consonant. Further, you've got the TH, and we need another colour as well because we've got the on the end there as well. So you've got during, ing at the end, lunar, you've got the AR, that long vowel sound on the U, music and during. Emu has a long vowel sound here and here. Lizard, we've got that AR in there, so we've got it in lunar, and we've got the AR in awkward as well. You've also got the AW in awkward, and because that's a long vowel sound, we're putting the K after it, not a CK. Okay, let's go back and look at what these words mean. Burnt means something's been destroyed by fire or heat. A nurse is someone who helps a doctor make sick or injured people better. Purple is a colour. Further means a greater distance from where we are, or a greater time from now, and it can also mean additional time. During means it's happening, occurring or happening at the same time, so while you're eating dinner, so you might say during dinner. Lunar means relating to the moon. Music is when we have perhaps singing and instruments playing together to make a nice tune, we call it music. Emu is a large Australian flightless bird. A lizard is a type of reptile, and awkward means something is difficult, or it's you might feel a bit embarrassed, so you might say you're feeling a bit awkward. Okay, so let's go back and read the words, sound the words and spell the words. So get your pencil and your bit of paper that you're blocking with. So we've got burnt, now then we're going to spell it so we know we're identifying which sound to use here. B-U-R-N-T, B-U-R-N-T, B-U-R-N-T. So on the B, when you're writing it, you can choose whether you do an upstroke or not. Smile to the U, handle for the R and then up to a point, handle for the N and then do your hill up for the T. This is level O, list 11, and we're doing the day 2 page. And in this list we've got UR making the sound, and then we've got the U in these words making its long vowel sound, and we've got the AR in lizard and awkward making the R sound. So whenever we put an R with a vowel, we get R-controlled vowels, and R-controlled vowels always make a long vowel sound. Now, the tricky part is we have 3 of these that all make the same sound. ER, IR, and UR all say This one here that's in lizard and awkward, it makes the R sound, so that makes it a bit easier. And this one, you know, makes the OR sound, as in fork or corn. So these 3 are the tricky ones. So what you really have to do is whenever you're learning a word with UR or IR in it, remember what those words are. We usually use ER at the end of a word to indicate someone who, but there are about 10 or 20 words where you do have ER in the middle of the word, so you'll need to take note of which words they are too. If you're not sure whether to use ER, IR or UR for the sound in a word, try writing the words with each of those phonograms in them and see which one looks right. Eventually over time you'll be able to picture those words in your mind and know which one will be right without having to write them down. And then you'll get to the stage where you'll just know which phonogram to use for the sound in a word that you're writing. Okay, let's read the words. We've got burnt, nurse, purple, further, during. Then we've got lunar, music and emu, and lizard and awkward. Now we've got to go through and have a look at the extra things that are in these words. So burnt, there's nothing hard in that except that sound. Nurse, you've got the SE at the end there. So that nurse is making that sound. So commonly when we see SE at the end of a word, it could be to make the S make it Z sound, or it could be to show that this is in a singular form. So if we want to make it into its plural form, we have to add an S after it. They just thought that if they let it end, that word nurse end in S, people would think it was a plural, so they just put the E there to show that it is singular. Okay, purple, you've got a stop consonant for put, so you know after a stop consonant we put LE. So if you're splitting that word, you would split it after the long vowel sound for UR. Same with further, you'd have to split it after the UR. Now in further, you've also got the TH for the th sound, and you've also got the ER at the end of that. So we tend to give that a schwat sound, you just have to remember to use ER there. During, ing at the end of words, quite easy. Lunar, you've got the R sound happening there as well, the same as that you had in lizard and awkward. And you've also got the U making its long sound in lunar, music and emu. Now because these words have a long vowel sound, they used to have a long vowel sound in the first part, we have to leave them as open syllables. So we'd be splitting them after that long vowel sound. Lunar, music, emu. If it's a long vowel sound, the syllable must remain open. So I'll just put a little O under there so you can see that. Lizard, we've got a short vowel sound, so we're going to split the syllable after the Z. Awkward, you can split it like that. So in awkward, you've also got that AW for the OR sound. And after a long vowel sound, you know you just put a K, not a CK. Now music, because this is more than one syllable, usually after a short vowel sound we put CK, but because this word has more than one syllable in it, we drop it to just the C. So that's a common rule that you'll see in many multisyllabic words. Let's go back and look at what these words mean. Burnt means that something has been cooked with fire, probably too much heat on it. A nurse is someone who helps people get back to health, whether they've been injured or they've been sick. They work with doctors. Purple is a colour. Further means further away, a point past here. During means during the time of. Lunar is something related to the moon. Music is maybe a tune from a voice or from musical instruments. An emu is a large Australian flightless bird. A lizard is a type of reptile, and awkward means that something has been difficult. So down here you're going to have to write the meanings, the words next to these meanings, and you'll take those words from this list here. Down the bottom you've got to write the list word and circle the synonyms. So you have to work out what, some of these aren't synonyms, some of them are antonyms, but you'll have to work out what the list word is that relates to those, and then go back and circle the synonyms, the ones that mean the same as the list word. Here you've got to use further and awkward in a sentence to show that you know their meanings. The antonyms mean finding list words that mean the opposite to pupil, nearer and patient. Plurals, it might mean that you add an S onto the end or an ES, so you have to think about that. And it might mean that you do nothing at all. Just be aware of this alert here, and you might need to discuss that tricky one, music, in your group. Now, if you don't know these sayings, face the something mean and something to one's ear means, you might need to also discuss that in your group. This is level O, list 11, and we're doing the day 3, and here we're revising the UR for the sound, the U for the long U sound in these words, and the AR for the R sound as well. So it's quite a revision list. We're also looking at SE, nurse, so when we put the E on the end, it's showing that that's not a plural. So if we had it ending with an S, people might think it was a plural, so they put the E there to show it's singular. In purple, this N is making a stop sound, so we know we add LE after a stop consonant. Further, we've got the TH there, and you've also got the on the end with the ER. During, you've got the ing on the end. Lunar, you've got the AR here. So you're covering each of your sounds. So you've got UR, IR, ER, now we've got an AR as well. Music, after a short vowel sound in a word with more than one syllable, we just use the C. Nothing special in there. Awkward, you've got the AW for that or sound too. So let's have a look at, you can read those words, sound them, spell them, cover, write and check them on your own. Down here we've got verb families, so you have to go through adding the S, the ing and the ed. So don't forget, E goes away when ing comes to stay here. And nursed, if the E is already there, you only have to add the D for the past tense. So combined with the list word, we're looking for common word pairs. So which word here would go best with these words that we've written down there? Write the base word and the extension. So musician comes from the word music, and then we want you to write the extension as well, musician. Comparators and superlatives always form adjectives, so the base of further and the superlative needs to be written in there. Be very careful with this superlative, it's a tricky one. And yeah, so you might need to discuss that within your group. Here we've got some word groups that we want you to put the UR words here, the IR words that you can think of here, and any ER words here that you can think of. These phonograms are tricky because they all make the same sound, so you have to remember which are the UR, which are the IR, and commonly ER comes at the end of words, so that makes it easier, but there are some words that it's in the middle of. This is level O, list 11, and we've got the day 4 page. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you how to do a word find, but you can either look for the words in here and then mark them off down the bottom, or search for these words down here and find them up here. But either way, you have to find all of these words down here somewhere in there. Now, I like to use lots of different colours, so I found the word further. So when I've found it, I'm going to mark it down here too. Then I'll probably change colours for the next one. These are all revision words, so these are all words that you should know how to spell. So hopefully this is a bit of a fun page for you.